What is going on? What do we got again? What do we got again? What do we got again? Another beautiful day. Where's that sun? Where is it? It doesn't matter. It's there. You can tell. You can always tell when the sun's out. Look at it on my face. Here with my boy Maxwell. Say hi, Maxwell. I was working on doing something that was not arty at all, and I think I've got an arty idea because of it. Don't I, Maxwell? I kind of got stopped midway through putting together this fire pit over here. Oh gosh, I've been wanting to put it together for a while. For what happened to the bottom, started to kind of rot. I had it outside for so long. But anyway, look what I found. Styrofoam. I got a pretty good idea to do with this. I think, I don't know, we're gonna try something out today. Also, I'm gonna have to do a little bit of problem solving today because while I was putting together this fire pit, guess who dropped an unknown number of little tiny screws into the grass. So I'm gonna have to figure something out for that. Fucking screws like probably like this size. I don't know, maybe you'd call them a bolt. Probably you'd call it a bolt. It's got that blunt end on it. That's a bolt. What I really think I might have dropped though is one of these little tiny nuts. I'm gonna go nuts looking for these nuts on the ground. Anyway, so here's my thing of art making stuff today. What I've got here, I've got a big magnet. Got some rope. I'm gonna tie the magnet to the rope. We're gonna find this little screw. I know pretty much where I dropped it. Screw, nut, whatever it dropped. So I know something dropped. And then I've got these two different markers for my other thing later. And I've also got acetone again. Yuck. So let's find this nut. Let's go ahead and work first. I'm gonna tie the rope onto the magnet. We're gonna find that nut without going nuts. All right. So I think I dropped it over here. First of all, look. No nuts. No nuts. No nuts so far. Let's go ahead and give it a quick little sweep. Sweeping for nuts. Did it. That didn't even really take any long at all. I actually didn't even check to see if the nuts and bolts were actually even magnetic. There was a chance that they weren't even going to be magnetic. I kind of just took a gamble there, and it totally paid off. So now I need to just count and make sure that I've got them all. I'm going to put the whole fire pit together, and then we're going to come back and we're going to make some art. Got to catch them all, folks. And we did. 4 nuts. 4 long screws, 4 short screws, a hexagon wrench tool. So yeah, I totally dropped another one of those nuts again. I was not able to find that nut, but I do have an idea that I think is going to work. I'm going to make kind of my own nut. I've got some wire here, and I'm wrapping it around. And then I'm gonna kind of wrap it really, really tight. So now, actually the screw kind of screws in and out of it like that. I think it's gonna work. I think I'm saved, hopefully. Yeah, that thing totally did not work. And then I dropped it in the grass, and it was copper wire, so it is absolutely not going to be picked up with a magnet. So I'm going to be here for a while. Or I might be looking on Google to see if copper is biodegradable. That was a stupid thing to say, I guess. I don't know, probably not. I don't think anything eats copper, but I mean, it's from Earth, so it's just gonna go back. Can't find it. So yeah, the little copper spring thing didn't work at all, did it? It would have worked if I could have had like it screwed down more onto the bolt, but it just wouldn't go down far enough. The bolt wasn't long enough. And then of course I dropped it on the ground. Putting stuff together in the grass is kind of a little difficult, honestly, and putting stuff together in general is always difficult. But I'm gonna reward myself making some art here in a little bit. And I've already decided I'm just not gonna use the bolt that came with it. I'm just gonna use a bolt that I already had. What's the point of saving all these bolts if you're not gonna use them? So anyway, we'll get this thing put together, and then I want to get to making art. No more videos about this stupid fire pit. Still a beautiful day though, isn't it? Really beautiful. Putting stuff together and doing stuff is never really hard. It's always just like this stupid little stuff, like losing things or dropping things. You just can't let that stuff get you down though, and you got to try to figure out ways to make it so that it doesn't happen, you know? Or try to like prevent it from happening as much as possible. It's gonna happen though. So like, for example, I got all my extra screws in this baking pan that I'm gonna be using for art later. Not gonna be losing any more of those screws, that's for sure. My beard turning gray. Just walking from where I put together the fire pit. Yes, the fire pit is done, to where I'm gonna do my art. And by the way, I'm gonna use the fire pit real quick. I'm gonna burn up those instructions. That was actually like more difficult than it needed to be, putting that thing together. But look, just walking, I was kind of swinging my little magnet. I think I'm gonna start going magnet fishing, if you've ever heard of that. Throw this thing in the water. I might not even change the knot. It seems like a pretty solid knot. But anyway, look, I caught a nail. That could have gone in Maxwell's foot. Could have gone in your foot, man. I caught it. Maybe we're gonna fish the whole yard here in a second. Still beautiful out here today. It is still so beautiful, but do you know what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to burn it, burn it. Look at this fire, kids. Obviously, I'm an adult. I make adult art. I do adult things. All right. We're just gonna let this fire pit keep on pitting. We'll go over here. See what my idea is. Get all these out of here. Okay, so my idea. Got these Sharpies. Got my acetone again. Already know that the acetone dissolves the styrofoam. We already know that it doesn't dissolve the pool noodle. I found a couple of new other kinds of plastic today in the packaging for the fire pit. So we're gonna see if the acetone melts them first of all. That'll be kind of fun. One of them is kind of a styrofoam. It's kind of thin, but it kind of feels pool noodly. So I'm gonna see. My prediction is it's not going to melt it. The other kind is just kind of like regular, like clear plastic, like from a bag that had all the screws and crap like that in it. Does that melt? We're gonna find out. Alien blood melts some stuff, but not others. It's interesting. Aliens are interesting. The other thing that we're gonna try out, I got these big styrofoam blocks. They're like big rectangles. I know that if I set them into the pan that's full of acetone, they'll melt that way. They'll melt from the bottom up to the top as the block sinks. Now, what I'm thinking though, if I get a Sharpie, like a marker, like a black alcohol-based marker. First of all, one experiment, is that gonna dissolve the styrofoam? Because it's got a real solvent smell. And I've got two different kinds of markers to try out. I've got the Sharpie markers, and then I've got these new Milwaukee markers, I think they're called. Milwaukee, was that right? That doesn't sound right. Milwaukee marker. Definitely, I was right. It's a Milwaukee marker. Yeah, but there's supposed to be some kind of like super permanent ink. What happens if I draw a picture in Sharpie on the big flat side, breakfast, of the styrofoam, and then set it in the acetone bath and let it melt? What's going to happen to the Sharpie drawing on the top? That's going to be what we're going to find out today. This is a really weird idea. And where does it come from? From putting together a fire pit. How's that fire pit doing anyway? I've been yammering. Fire pit did its job, looks like. Completely just ash now. Good job, fire pit. We're accomplishing stuff today. It's a beautiful day too. That sun's definitely accomplishing, putting the whole world into a good mood. And I hope you're part of that good mood. Should I make a picture of? Who should I make a picture of? Who am I out here with? Who's helping me today? Maxwell. You want me to draw a picture of you, dude? Would that be pretty cool? I'm gonna draw a picture of you, man. We're gonna make some new art. You wanna come check it out? No. He's got a mind of his own, kids. Everybody does. I'm gonna draw a Maxwell with the new kind of marker, but does the solvent in it dissolve the styrofoam? That's what's interesting right now. It's doing something. Seems like it kind of makes the styrofoam soft, but I don't know if that's just from poking it. I need to run a control, so I'm going to have to use the Sharpie and maybe even just kind of a stick that I find out here that's about that same, just to see if poking on it with something pointy like that, is that what's kind of like getting in between these little balls. The styrofoam's made of like little, I think that they're like expanded little tiny. If you've ever played with Orbeez, the way that they start out is like little tiny pellets, like almost like sand, and then or little tiny beads, and then you mix them with water and they expand. Same thing with styrofoam, but it's not water that makes it expand. I think it's heat, I'm pretty sure, or vacuum. Like putting it into a vacuum, it kind of sucks the gas out. I think heating it can also make it work. So I'm gonna try out a Sharpie right now and let's see what goes in between those little tiny balls or pellets of the expanded styrofoam. So trying a Sharpie out. Don't worry, Maxwell, this is gonna be the back. So it's kind of tearing up the little pellets as well. I don't know if it's like the solvent though. So we're gonna try it. I'm gonna try to find a stick that's about the same as the end. Okay, here we go. This is pretty good. So here I've got like a little stick, not this end, a little stick. It's about the kind of pokiness of a Sharpie. Okay, so yeah, it's absolutely how pokey the Sharpie is. It's kind of tearing it up. I think that just means, honestly, today that I'm just gonna have to be really careful with the markers and not poke really hard. But maybe in the future, I might want to like think about how I could get like a brush or something and brush on the ink. If this works, if this does anything cool. What I'm hoping is that it'll dissolve the whole styrofoam and like kind of get all of the gas, because these little, the little tiny cells, let's call them, or the pellets. You know, if you break styrofoam, like all those little tiny balls that go everywhere, the little white balls. I remember one time being at a party one time and listening to a Jeff Foxworthy CD and him doing a routine about those little balls being inside of beanbag chairs. And he used a bad word. And it was weird. It was because I was listening to it out loud on a CD player in front of my family, and he said a bad word. Jeff Foxworthy, what the heck? Oh yeah, but he was talking about the little balls. I almost forgot why I was talking about that. Yeah, he was talking about the little balls getting everywhere, the little styrofoam balls. Because what happens is they start out as little tiny pellets. I saw this on Mr. Wizard one time.
Surface up here, but if you ever break one apart, you'll see what they're really made of. Look.
Oh, the little spheres.
Yes, little tiny spheres. Now notice the size of the spheres, because when they start out, they're this size.
Oh.
Very, very small.
I see.
And what the manufacturer does is he gets a mold made out of steel or iron or something like this, and he puts these little tiny balls in there, then he heat it up and they expand and fill up all the little spots, and you can make it in any shape you want as long as you have
so much that they're like expanded next to each other and just kind of pressing against each other so tight that they can't get loose. I think that they're just held together with friction, honestly. Maybe some other kind of little small force, a weak force or a strong force. I don't know. I don't know what kind it's forceful, but whenever you break it in part, though, they just kind of go everywhere sometimes. Anyway, so I need to be careful not to get in between the styrofoam balls. So I'm going to try to draw my picture of Maxwell. I think I'm going to have to look at a picture because he's just he's definitely breathing, so he is alive, but he's taking a nap in the beautiful. Don't be afraid to take a nap outside when it's a beautiful day. What am I gonna do? The video looks different, by the way, because my phone, I didn't charge it last night. I don't know why, and I've been making these on my phone. Also, that's what my eyes look like. So first of all, we need to test and see if it's going to dissolve this new stuff. My prediction is no. We'll see. So it's like this kind of stuff. It feels like a pool noodle, so I have a feeling it's not going to dissolve it. Let's see. My assumption was correct. It does not dissolve it. All right, let's try this other stuff. So this is like the kind of plastic bag stuff that you're not supposed to give to like kids or animals. Also does not react to acetone. But what does react to acetone? Styrofoam. Let's try that again. Okay, so I want to get this more level. That's kind of a cool rock. Put that rock in there. Okay, almost got it level. Glad I got another can of this stuff. I kind of use a lot with this. Okay, so here we go. It looks like blueberry streusel or something. It's always interesting to me how black ink isn't really truly black. It's usually like a dark purple or brown. Like so much of it though. You just can't, your brain cannot wrap your head around it being anything but black. Now what am I gonna do? You can see the ink is just kind of leaching out. I need to get this out of here somehow. Thinking that parchment paper is the answer again, so I'm gonna have to go get some more parchment paper. You can still see how it says max and well. I don't want to get too much over this. I don't know what the acetone does to the camera lenses, so I'm not trying not to get too close here. But let's zoom in on that. You can see that all of the acetone is just 100%. Nice rich violet color now. So what I want to do is get something and kind of scoop that up and put it on a flat sheet of parchment paper to dry somewhere. And it would be cool if this could somehow be like a way to kind of save a flat piece of plastic art with the the Sharpie design on it. Milwaukee marker obviously needs to go a lot quicker. We're gonna see what happens with the Sharpie marker in just a second though, and I'm gonna put some new acetone in there. Dude, I'll be right back. I gotta go get some parchment paper, man. Keep an eye on my artwork, okay? Lock down the fort. I'm back and I got that parchment paper. And I also got a CD case, a little bit of card. I don't know how I'm gonna get this out of here, honestly, but the whole goal obviously is to get it out and put it onto a flat sheet of parchment paper. It's obviously I'm gonna have to go much faster if I want this to ever work, because right now it is completely dissolving the ink. Let's check this out. Here goes nothing. I'm gonna try to use this piece of card, slide it underneath the melted styrofoam. Let's call it an artwork. It's an artwork at this point. We just need to rescue it. Obviously I could just let it sit in that pan all day and let the acetone evaporate, but what's that going to do to the Sharpie picture? We want to get it out. We want to get it like drying quickly. If we could do it right, the styrofoam dissolves, get it out quick, pop it onto the parchment paper. The Sharpie marker thing maybe just kind of gets set into it, We're tattooing styrofoam. Did you think it was going to go there? We're tattooing styrofoam. And we're also seeing that Milwaukee markers are violet ink, actually. Art and science. And aliens. Okay, here we go. Gonna slide. Oh, not graceful. Okay, but we got it though. Oh, come on, guys, stretch it back out. Sorry, Max, I think I made your artwork into like an abstract artwork. It is a super, super, super beautiful morning, and the ideas are just coming quick and they're coming hard. I think I've got a solution now, after thinking about it, of how to get the styrofoam out. I'm not just going to put the styrofoam in by itself. I'm going to be putting it in now on a bed of cardboard with tape, so that will all get lowered into the bath of acetone, and then I will be able to not lift the styrofoam, because the styrofoam is going to be completely structurally just destroyed at that point. I'm not going to be able to lift it by that. I'm going to be lifting out the cardboard with the styrofoam melted, resting on it really nicely, and I'm going to have to be able to do it. Anyway, I got to build the cardboard thing still, but I know that it's going to work. Probably. I know that it's probably going to work. Also, I got another idea, because I'm going to have to get rid of this acetone, and I can't just pour it out. That'd be messed up. It's a beautiful day. Why ruin it with some acetone? But it is spent, spent acetone. I don't know what to call it. It's been used. It's got all this the purple dye in it now, the violet Milwaukee marker. So I'm gonna need to get rid of it. What I'm thinking I need to do probably is just let it evaporate. I think that'd probably be the safest thing to do, is just leave it out and let the fumes. I mean, that's what we gotta do, right? It's better than pouring it out and having something drink it, or having something, smell it. But I had the idea. We know it doesn't dissolve glass. We know it doesn't dissolve glass. Alien blood doesn't dissolve glass. So what I've done is I've greased up a cup. I'm going to melt the rest of the styrofoam in it with the purple alien blood. And what I'm thinking is, if you look at this, I don't know if you can see that. It's like perfectly round at the bottom. Maybe I can make like a little paperweight or something with that kind of like, and maybe it'll be pretty with the purple, Maybe it'll be pretty with the purple alien blood. We'll see. Let's find. I don't know if this is going to be art, but that was pretty fun. I really like the way that it bubbles up. It reminds me of something from like a Batman TV show or something. Like that's like this alien blood is like something that the Joker would definitely be into. The Joker would definitely be into aliens. I know Batman's fought the aliens, but I think the Joker would be cool with them. I think he would have like an alien as a pet. He likes those squirting flowers with the acid in them. Where's he get that acid? So we're gonna set this in the sun somewhere where Maxwell can't get at it. What colors we got going on here? Got pretty colors though. A little bit, look at that purple. I'm hoping that that color of the So I'm making like a little tray. All I did was just rip. Full. Mosquitoes are starting to wake up. I gotta get this done quick. I don't play with mosquitoes. I don't play with mosquitoes. So yeah, so I got it folded along there, folded along here. Ripped it right there, so that way I can just kind of pick it up and I can tape right there. My folds in the right place. There. I don't think I need to tape the other side. So I put that in there like that. Now, just make some straps. Oh well. So, the idea obviously, slowly lower the whole thing down. And then hopefully, as this dissolves, it'll lay right onto the cardboard. It occurs to me that I ought to put some parchment paper on the cardboard. Yeah, I am innovating today. Note to self, bring scissors out next time. Okay. So now, all I gotta do is fill this up with acetone, and then pull it out. That's gonna be the plan. The video isn't still rolling. Let's do this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. F. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. No. Parchment paper is a bad idea, I think. I think I need to make the cardboard thing more porous too. Maybe I even have like a screen. I want it to be. I want. This is now a new project. First of all, similar color, but I feel like it's a slightly different color. It's now a new project though. Suncatcher, abstract, Rorschach Suncatcher. How can I make it fold? How can I make it symmetrical? Oh man, yeah, that didn't work really well at all. But oh well. Are you disappointed in me, Maxwell, that it didn't work out? He isn't disappointed. He thinks it's okay. I think it's okay. Maybe we're gonna have something cool with that the other thing. We're gonna go take this over there. When stuff as weird as this, it's probably like gonna have a pretty high success rate of failure. You're gonna succeed to fail. But that's okay, because every time you fail, you learn something not to do. And honestly, I need to learn not to do this because I'm kind of, acetone's not free and nobody wants to buy styrofoam stuff. Why doesn't anybody want to buy styrofoam stuff? So yeah, we're going to take this over and put this in the sun. I don't know, on the walk, we'll have it go through the beautiful sunlight. Maxwell, what do you think it looks like? I think it kind of looks like a motorcycle, like Ghost Rider riding. I don't know. It could look like that way. How about that way? I can't hold it the other way. What's happening to this stuff though? Beautiful color. It seems like a different color. That beautiful violet gets caught somehow in that in this thing. We'll come back to that. I don't know when that'll be dry. That might not be dry for a while. So yeah, we'll just leave those out here, and we'll see what happens. This is a couple minutes later. Alrighty, this is starting to kind of lay flat and making all kinds of cool surface interest. I mean, it looks really cool, actually. Sharpie. And this over here, I really want it to be like a paperweight. So I want it flat on the bottom and then round on the top. So what I'm going to do, I don't know, maybe it will work. I have this extra acetone. I'm going to dump it on top. Maybe we can. I need to explore the different colors of markers with that acetone sometime. Not today. Not today. You can't do everything in one day. Everything in one day? Hey, go do everything. No, because you're tied up. Hours have passed. I spin around a lot in these videos, so who knows where the sun is? Who knows where's north? Who knows where's south? Who knows what side of trees moss grows on? But I know that this, my experiments with the alien blood and the styrofoam are yielding interesting results. So this is my thing. Big Sharpie. Completely dry now. See if it's kind of translucent a little bit. Hey, it's definitely translucent in the places that it's completely cracked all the way through. I love how it switches the camera angle like that. It's translucent in the best ways, I think. See how that, so that says Sharpie. You can kind of see it. That's it, Sharpie. What's really interesting though is this. Looks like a snow cone. Still full of acetone, but it's like puffed up. Dried out. And pop it back down. Still a lot of acetone in there. I feel like it needs to be exposed to be able to evaporate probably. Okay, so we got one more thing to check out. So this one's stayed a little more solid. I could see hanging a bunch of these up and having like some kind of like a little mobile outside of a house. I don't know, would you do that? Would you hang something like this? It's kind of cool. I don't know.